Okay, so I'm back for another 2021 LEGO City review, and today we're looking at this one, which is set 60292, the City Town Centre. Now again, this one is in a quite a gigantic box for the size of the set, but actually this one does take up quite a lot of area if you're using the roads and stuff. So I can kind of see where they're going with this box, but I still think that this one is quite expensive for the price. As in the UK, this is £90, and in the US it is $100, which gives it a price per piece of 11.4p in the UK or 12.7 cents in America. So pretty expensive. And that seems to be the case for most city sets. However, they also usually do come in pretty decent sales further down the line. So let's take a look at this set, look at all the minifigures, the little builds, and then whether I think it's worth it or not. So let's start off with the minifigures. So there are 9 minifigures included in this set, also a new dog piece and a baby minifigure as well. So let's kind of have a look at each of these minifigures and see what they look like. Now, first things first, if you look on the box, there are 2 of the named characters, Madison and Shirley Keeper. So Madison is one of the ones that's actually learning in the dojo, and Shirley Keeper seems to be the woman who has the recycling truck. So here is Shirley Keeper, a nice little minifigure. I really do like this hairpiece, and it looks quite cool and a bit rarer in this kind of orange with a kind of like a crew cut, pretty cool. And she's got this nice device here, which I'm guessing is kind of for lowering and lifting up the crane for the recycling equipment. She has a nice printed torso, but she doesn't have any printed legs at all. And weirdly, even though she's a named character, she does not have a double facial expression. Next we have Madison, who is the other named character. Now she's really nice. I really like this one. She's got this cool print here, which is supposed to be like a kendo outfit, I believe. And she also does have a dual facial expression, which is quite nice. One happy with her eyes closed, and one just kind of happy, which is pretty cool. I do like this molded hairpiece here as well, pretty rare. I haven't seen that one before, so that's pretty nice to get as well. And it also does have a hole on the top, so you can add things like a hat or a party hat or something like that, which is pretty nice. Now she also does come in the set with the kendo hat as well for her training, and a wooden sword, which are actually in the kendo training gym itself, but it's pretty cool that you have these that you can put onto the character. So there we go. Next up we have this older gentleman. I believe he's probably supposed to be the kendo master or trainer or something. Now what's really cool with him is he does actually have printed legs that match up to that printed kendo top, which is pretty cool, where Madison doesn't have that. Really nice printing on the back, but he does not have a dual facial expression, just one. And it does come with another set of the kendo sticks and stuff, so you can definitely use both of them, and they can be training in the gym, which is pretty cool. So that's what he looks like with that kind of kendo mask on. Really cool. Underneath the kendo shop we have this really cool pizza place. So we have obviously the chef for the pizza. Now he has this kind of wooden paddle for putting pizza in, as well as a pizza box. And he's just got a normal generic kind of pizza outfit, which is pretty cool. We don't get many chefs, it's quite nice. Just generic green legs, but they do great. And he does have this nice mustache facial expression as well. But again, because he's got the hat on, no double facial expression. And next we have a thief that's stolen a pizza for some reason. He also has the generic red crowbar and the nice kind of thief outfit. I don't know why they still wear their prison outfit, but never mind. And then again, nice printing on the back, but no leg printing, and he doesn't have a double facial expression either. Following close behind the robber, we have this cool police officer. Now this one actually comes on a bike, which is pretty cool, which is why he has this helmet, but he doesn't have a hairpiece to go with it. But he does have these nice goggles. Sadly, only one facial expression though again, which is a little bit annoying, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I like the little walkie-talkie. Nice little minifigure to have. We also get a female firefighter in the set as well. Now she has got nice printed legs and stuff, which is pretty cool. And she does have a dual facial expression. One with the muddy face and then one with the kind of stern looking face. Really like the printing on this. It does look really cool. And the fact that she has printed legs is really nice as well. However, she doesn't come with a hairpiece either. Next up we have this lady holding the baby. Now this is a really cool piece. It's in the Mandalorian set as well as the Campervan set this year, which is pretty cool. But she's a pretty nice minifigure. Let me take the baby off so you can see her better detail. So a pretty cool open hoodie with a star print on her t-shirt, which is pretty cool. No dual facial expression again, which is pretty annoying, but she's a pretty cool minifigure nonetheless. And the baby minifigure that comes in the pouch is just a normal white, no printing on him at all, which would have been nice to have seen a little bit of printing, but these are cool little characters to have anyway. And last but not least, we have my favourite character of the set, which is this blind guy. Now, he does come with sunglasses, which is a little bit stereotypical of a blind person, but I do really like that they've added this guy in. He's got this really cool new handle piece that clips onto dogs, which I think looks absolutely awesome in the screen, and the dog itself is a new print with this new kind of Labrador in brown. Really cool. Sadly, again, the blind guy doesn't have a dual facial expression, but he's a pretty cool character, and I do really like this face print. So that's all the minifigures in the set. Pretty decent selection. However, I do wish that some of them would have had dual facial expressions, as well as some more printed leg pieces as well, because we don't tend to get that many printed leg pieces for some reason. So next we'll get into the vehicles, and there are kind of 4 vehicles. A bike, which the police officer drives on. This is just a generic mountain bike, but in the dark blue. Really nice to see though, and it does go nicely with his uniform, which is pretty cool. We also get a generic firefighter motorcycle with these stickers on the sides. These look okay, but I kind of really don't see the point in them. It also comes with a little area where you can clip on the stud shooter, so she can put out fire using this as like a water pistol. Weirdly, this mini electric vehicle is the second biggest in this set, and I actually quite like these. I think they look quite comical, which is kind of cool. But this has got a little clip on the front there, and that's because it's actually supposed to be an electric vehicle, so you actually clip the electric kind of charger on the front there, which is pretty nice to see. But again, only holds one minifigure, but it's kind of cool, kind of quaint. I wish they'd added a few more vehicles and this wasn't the second biggest one in the set for the price point. And then the biggest vehicle in the set is this recycling truck, which actually is a pretty decent one again. Now, I don't often like these bigger trucks, but this one isn't too bad in size, and it's really, really cool how it has this nice little bit on the back, and that's for actually adding the recycling boxes that you can easily clip into the back here like so. So with them on, it looks something like that, which is really, really cool. I do like these little recycling center things. That's pretty cool. They are stickers though, as well as stickers on the side. No prints on here at all, and it's a sticker on the front there too. But really nice vehicle. I do like this one. Easy to get access to the cockpit inside. Again, nothing too major in there. No prints, just a steering wheel. But again, pretty nice. I do like this one. It's not too big. Sometimes these vehicles are way too big for like my city and stuff, so I do quite like this one. So that's all the vehicles out of the way. Also, there are these two buildings, obviously the car wash and this kind of pizza restaurant slash dojo, which is really interesting to see. And it does come with 3 of the 16x16 road plates, as well as a 8x16 crosswalk and an 8x16 standard plate. Now these ones are going to be a lot rarer to get hold of, the ones without the print on, because we do seem to get a lot of crossroads in the new city sets, but none of these ones to go with it. And obviously you need that to make a 16x16 for it to go in kind of a normal city. So I'll move the minifigures off here and I'll unclamp this so we can have a closer look at it. So here's the Octan Car Wash, and I actually think this is a really interesting build. It's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It has these water splashes here that move around, so if you had a bigger vehicle that goes through, it kind of goes underneath. And these little bits inside actually spring back, so you can get them to actually go into the car and kind of like actually rub against it, which I think is pretty cool. A nice little sticker piece there, which looks really, really nice for instructions, and it has these nice 2 buttons there that just give it a little bit of pop at the front. It has these big open transparent blue pieces on the side, which look really interesting, and then nothing on the back. But as you can see inside, this has kind of like yellow and black tiling just to make it look a little bit interesting. But I do think this is quite a nice little build, and obviously with the green, white and red colours of Octane. Now interesting, next to the Octane garage we actually have this little piece here, which is Octane E. Now it's basically a little car parking space, but right here you can see that this actually says Octane E on it, and it's supposed to be an electricity port, and that's where you're supposed to put this little car here, and then with this clip that's right here, you can actually plug it into the front of the car to give it a charge, which I think is pretty cool. I quite like that they're actually showing off new electric vehicles and stuff. I think that's kind of cool, except for it does look like electric vehicles look kind of puny for some reason. So that electric car section goes right here, but we also have this little bit here, which is this recycling area, which is pretty cool. So to one side, this has a generic green bin with a spade and a brush in. Nothing too interesting there, but it does have these 2 carrier sections, which were the things that I put on the back of the recycling truck earlier. But it has this paper waste one and then this glass bottle one, and then in front it has a couple of glass bottles to show that maybe the bin is a little bit too full. But these hooks here are so you can actually lift it off, and underneath it just has some of the connector plates right there just to show that you can easily clip them on and off. And then around the back of these, it actually has little doors that you can actually add into, which is pretty cool. So if you open up the door, you can see that's where you can kind of put waste in there if you wanted to, or you can easily just take off the lid as well, like so. This set also weirdly comes with 3 white towels, which I've just placed inside the paper waste. It's supposed to be paper, but it's a little bit strange. It would have been nicer if they were printed newspapers or something. But overall, I definitely do think this is a little cool add-on section to the set, and it does kind of pad it out a little bit. Now, before we get onto this big building, there's also this little kind of park area right here, which is pretty interesting. So this just has a generic little kind of tiled off area here with like a tree to make it represent a park kind of, which is a bit weird. And then we do get this really cool bench here, which is quite nice, and we have this really cool little ride which actually does bob up and down, which is pretty interesting, and it does have a jumper plate on it, so you can easily add the little baby onto it so he can be riding on the little ride, which I think it looks really, really cool. It's quite a nice little addition. Again, just pads out the set a little bit, but does add a little bit of color and, you know, complexity to the build. So let's have a look at this bigger build here. Okay, so here is the bigger building. This is quite a nice little build actually. It's 6 studs wide, so it's a little bit wider than the ones in the Market Street, but pretty cool nonetheless. It has a little pizza area at the bottom. These are all stickers, and it has a little kind of walkway up with a nice fencing to the side. And then we have the Robert in front. If I move him, you can see there's also a little stool at the front as well, but I think it's actually supposed to be a table or something, but no kind of like seats or anything like that. And then there's a big stack of papers for pizza boxes right here, which actually has a play feature right here on the side, which is this little turny bit where you can put the fire up and then shoot that down with the stud shooter from the firefighter. Pretty cool though. And then also there's this sticker piece here, which is the dojo, which is really cool. Wish it was Karate Kid, but obviously not. It's not Cobra Kai. And then on top we do get these really nice minifigure details here, which are the small minifigures in the dark grey, and then a kind of little cherry tree and some like kind of little bits of greenery just to add a little bit of complexity to the top of the roof. So looking inside the pizza area, like I said, you have this little bit of fire here on the side, but then you do have this nicely built little pizza oven here, as well as a new printed piece by the looks of it for a cash register, which is pretty interesting. So nothing too major in here, it's quite cramped, but it kind of gets the overall pizza shop across. And then up at the top you have this kind of kendo slash Dragon Dojo, they call it, and it has the masks on these nice little area pieces here. This way you can take them off to put them on the characters, and then it does have 2 wooden kendo sticks there, as well as a samurai sword kind of in gold at the front, which is quite interesting, and then just a red mat. Nothing too complex there. And then you can see on the back, this is how they've kind of built the kind of plant area at the top with some of these vines and bits, and then a kind of tree using just one of the green pieces with cherries on top. Okay, so what are my overall thoughts on this set? Now, for £90, this is a lot of money. These Lego City sets seem to be going up and up in price for some reason. However, I do think this one actually does look pretty cool. There's some quite cool little builds here, and definitely something I can expand on for a bigger city. However, one strange thing that I noticed that is missing from this, and I had to double check, is there are no glow-in-the-dark lampposts, which do come in the Lego City road plates as well as in the smaller street one. It's just a bit of an interesting one. Don't know why they're not in this one. I really like this guide dog here and the blind person. I think that's really, really cool, and I hope we get more kind of diversity with kind of stuff in the future, because I think that's absolutely awesome. And I do really like this little ride here as well. I think this is a pretty cool little build. I wish it was a little bit bigger, however, but I do actually think this is actually big enough. I thought this was going to be too small. However, I do think this kind of car wash is pretty cool, and I'm kind of happy with the size of that one. I also really like the inclusion of this little electric vehicle. I think that's kind of funny. However, I do wish it was a little bit bigger and we had a bit of better build for a electric vehicle. Electric vehicles have come a long way since the early 2000s. But as I said, I think this one is pretty expensive, so I'd probably wait for either Double VIP, which actually Lego has on their site at the moment, or I kind of wait for maybe 20% off or something like that, or a decent gift with purchase if you're getting it directly from Lego. But anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you picked this one up? Are you going to be getting it, or are you going to be waiting and maybe seeing what else we get in Lego City later on in the year? But anyways, if you liked the video, how about a like? And if you absolutely loved it, then how about subscribe? And as always, have an absolute awesome day. Right, lots of ideas for what I'm going to do with this one. I definitely need to make this some sort of Karate Kid Cobra Kai dojo. I think that'll be absolutely awesome, and using the guy from series 20 with the nunchucks, that'll be ace. I really don't see the point. I've got so many